Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Stitching with Sue here. So today is Sunday. Look at the date. Sunday, excuse me, September 4th, 2022. It is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is a Sunday. I don't know, did I say that? I don't remember. Anyhow, so it's Labor Day weekend here in the United States. So if you celebrate Labor Day weekend, happy Labor Day. It's a whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, no, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Some of us had Friday off. I got out of work early on Friday, so I kind of thought as though almost like I had Friday off. You know, when you get a half day, it's kind of like Friday off. So Monday is actually the holiday, and I know I'm rambling, so I apologize for that. So I was up early today. Yesterday I had the baby shower. I'll talk a little bit about that when we're stitching along. So today's Sunday, and I thought, you know what? Oh my gosh, the craft show that I'm doing, September 17th, is just 2 weeks away. What am I doing? I do have a ton of stuff already made, left over from other shows on that. But I usually do focus on elf clothing. And, you know, that famous elf that comes around each and every year. So I started working on these. I'm just here for the leftovers. Aren't they cute? Little cute shirts. So I have a bunch of them. I 1, 2, 3 of those. And then I was working on these, the Grinch. Look at how scary that is. Where are you guys at? Ooh, and I know I still have some stabilizer. I got to get a wet paintbrush to clean off. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And I ran out of this color fleece. So I'm thinking, well, 5 of them is probably enough. So I want to make a nice variety, and I have 3 of these so far. And I was about to stitch another one of these, and I thought, you know what, let me bring my friends along to show you how fun these are to make on your embroidery machine. Now, word of caution, I was just finishing up the last one, and all of a sudden I heard this and beep, 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 beep. And I was like, oh no, now what? So the machine kind of stopped, and a thing on the screen came up that I had never seen before. It said machine malfunction to turn off and back on again. Well, I think I held my breath for the whole entire time. I was a nervous wreck turning it back on again, but I did. I turned it off and back on again, and it kind of did its thing and said resume previous, and I said yes, and I finished up the sweater. So this is the next project after the whole, whatever the malfunction was. I have no idea, but I just did a needle change. So I changed the needle, so it's a nice fresh needle. And this thing was kind of making a little noise. Anybody know what this thing is? I mean, I could look it up, but anybody know what that thing is? It was kind of like some kind of noise with that thing. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get started on these cute little sweaters. Now, oops, let me get that in there. So if you are not into Elf on the Shelf, and I know a lot of people dislike him, I don't know why, but hey, that's your choice. These work well for little fashion dolls too. You know, like the little Barbie type dolls. Sorry, that's my dog. Somebody's outside. Or a leaf maybe blew by. Could be one or the other. No, that kind of sounds like someone's outside. Probably someone parking on the street. Anyhow, we'll just ignore the barking dog. You could tell she's feeling better, right? Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and we'll do a little chit chat. And if you're brand new here, thanks so much for joining us. Hold on, Aurora. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope that wasn't loud when I yelled her name. This is machine embroidery, and these are fun projects that you can create on your embroidery machine. So if you're brand new to this, sit back, get yourself a nice drink, and just enjoy the time together. So first off, I have my 5x7 hoops, so these are 5x7 hoop friendly. Will not fit with the 4x4. This design anyhow. I tried it, won't fit. And I have a tearaway stabilizer in here, so 5x7 hoop, tearaway stabilizer. I have my Brother Elves Essence VE 2300 embroidery machine. It's embroidery only. and a 7511 needle, and I'm using fleece that I've had. So I did do a quick run this morning to Joann Fabrics, believe it or not, and because I realized I'm almost out of fleece or colors of fleece. So first step was, of course, the placement stitch. Now these I cut really large because the last ones I was cutting them too small. So you know, that's how I am, either too big or too small. Okay, so next step is we're going to stitch down this fleece, and this is fleece, like a polar fleece, and I think I should have used the other side of the fleece. I think this is the not right side, but it don't matter. They're elf clothes, right? So the fleece has a stretch. So you want the stretch to go lengthwise. So the stretch is going this way, so that whoever, you know, gets these little sweaters, they're able to dress their elf. Because I've had things before that are very difficult to put on an elf. So this design is going to, just kind of adjusting a little bit, it's going to stitch around twice. So it's stitching the fleece down to the stabilizer. And the next step is going to be the embroidery. Now this is a very easy embroidery project. These are so easy to make, just even if you're a beginner. The design, where did I get it? That's going to be the next thing. Through an Etsy store. I'm not promoting any Etsy store. Actually, I got in trouble from somebody because I, believe it or not, was using their design, and I gave them full credit for their design, and they called me out on it. And yeah, so that's what happens. So I mean, I would think that people would want you to promote their designs, but you know, just can't figure them out these days. All right, so I'm going to change the thread to black. The bobbin just has white thread. Bobbin don't really matter in this design. And black thread on top to do the verbiage. Now, because this is a polar fleece, I haven't tried it without the clear wash away stabilizer, so I don't want to chance it. So I just have a small piece cut, and I'm able to get 2 sweaters out of this piece. I'm just going to put it here over the front of the sweater, and then what I do is I have my little screwdriver. I just kind of place it, you know, place it down here in the end of the hoop, to kind of, my ceiling fan's on and my hallway fan is on, so there's fans blowing. I just don't want this stabilizer to kind of, let me fix you a little bit, to kind of like blow away. Y'all know that what happens. You see it blowing? I could see it blowing in the camera. Maybe I should raise you up a little bit, because then that may be distracting. Now I know I can use a piece of tape. I don't even know if I have tape nearby, but for now I'm just going to do this, and I hope that's not going to be in your way. All right, so we put this down so that the stitches don't get lost in the fabric. Now, you don't have to do this for cotton fabric. If there's anything that has a little loft to it, you want to do some of this wash away clear stabilizer. And many people say, oh, well, maybe I can just use plastic wrap. No, 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 no. Do not use plastic wrap. And let me just stand up to fix this blowing away stuff here. I'm going to stop the machine because it just makes me nervous. We all know what my prior accident happened with trying to fix something and not stopping it. So I'm hoping you're able to see that. It's looking good on my end. Just this little might blow up. And let me see, do I have a piece of tape or something somewhere that I can hold that down? I'm just gonna hold it. Put that little screwdriver there. Now keep an eye on that screwdriver. You don't want that screwdriver to roll into your stitching area by any means. But the camera's right in mid-center of this. I'm gonna kind of hold it down so it doesn't blow up in your face while we watch it stitch. So, kind of want to make sure this don't move. It's a good idea to take some tape. Put 2 pieces of tape here and there. Don't do as I do. Because you know what happens sometimes? This gets all bunched up and whatnot. So, we don't want that to happen. So anyhow, the design is from Etsy. And if you're interested in any elf clothing attire to make for yourself, your friends, your family. You can find it many places. Many designers make designs for the elf clothing. You know, so like I said, because somebody was offended that I did a YouTube video using their design, giving them full credit as to where people can buy the design and whatnot, I got myself in trouble. Well, not really. I just had to remove the videos. I removed the videos, and then there you go. And this plastic wrap is just blowing. I'm going to turn off my ceiling fan, because that's what's creating it. I will turn off the ceiling fan. Well, probably the hallway fan is blowing it too. But maybe the ceiling was doing more blowing. But the fan is an oscillating fan in the hallway, just to kind of move the air around, because it's getting kind of humid here. That doesn't look like it's focusing. Is that focused? I think it's the plastic wrap that's making it not focus. Yeah, plastic wrap. Look at me calling it plastic wrap. See? I'm going to just raise you up a little bit. And I didn't think that was going to create such havoc. But apparently it is. Now, let me see. China. You think I would have been better prepared, right? But it wasn't blowing as much as it is right now. So I have no clue why. And I guess the camera's getting interfered with it. So we're just stitching out the words. We're stitching out on just here for the leftovers. So anyhow, yeah, that's where the design is from, Etsy store. It came in a whole set of designs. So, you know, that's all I got to say about that. I'm just hoping the machine that, you know, I'm sure it's sounding good, and if this video goes up and you're watching it right now, that means everything's fine. But after that last, whatever happened there, I don't know, maybe thread got twisted or something is what I'm thinking. The thread must have got twisted and it stopped. But yeah, so this is how you make these little elf sweaters, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want to buy them, and then you tell them how much, and then they're like, yeah, no. I mean, people don't really know what's involved in machine embroidery, and it's not only, you know, you had to buy the designs. Unless you digitize yourself, then you have one foot in the door already. So you buy the design, you got to buy the materials, you got to do machine maintenance, you got electricity, you have needles, you have thread, you have stabilizers, you have fabric. So put all that into the pot, which is not thought of when, you know, people come to a craft show and they just want to buy this or anything. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday at the baby shower, which I want to talk about that too. And she was talking about a craft show she went to, and this woman makes wreaths, and she said that I mean, this woman that makes the wreaths, by all means, they are worth the money. But she said she raised her prices, which of course she had to, because everything is costing so much more. And she said there was one wreath that was $200, but she said it was a massive wreath. And one of the girls at work had purchased a wreath from her once before. And it was a huge, massive, very full. It had the mesh, all kind of decorations, massive, huge wreath. She said, oh yeah, well, I paid $100 for that one. And my teeth nearly fell out, if they could. Well, they probably would. But I was thinking like, wow, you know? Like, I mean, I guess when you put a pencil to it, I don't know, somebody must be having a party up the street, and there must be people going up the street. You know, when you put the pencil to it, as far as buying the machine, let me stop this for a minute. I'm going to close this window and put the blind down, because the sun is beaming in here. Hopefully that won't interfere with the video. But I don't think so. But anyhow, so this is how these little sweaters are made. Now, some of the little sweaters have a lot more detail to it. These are pretty simple. This is a little over 6,000 stitches, and it takes 11 minutes to make one. But then there's also your time involved. So I won't go any more into that. And I don't know why it's looking to me like it's fuzzy. Let me move it a little bit. Okay. So let me talk about the shower. Oh my gosh, she loved all the items that I gave for the baby shower. It was all the Winnie the Pooh stuff. And no, I didn't take a picture of any of it, but I kind of showed you along the way the different things I was making. The quilts, there were bibs. I had made some burp cloths out of cloth diapers. Trying to think what else. I don't remember what else. Oh, I made that little, those little teepees. I did a video for that. So I did a lot of videos, any of them with Winnie the Pooh. That was all for the girl I work with. So she absolutely loved it. All the women that were at the shower were like, do you make bibs for adults? Call me, you know. I could, you know. But, so yeah, it was a big hit. It was a nice shower, small shower, but it was nice. About 3 hours, and then after she opened up all her gifts and whatnot, then I headed home. And what did I do last night? Oh, I was doing some sewing. So you know those towels that I was showing you that I was embroidering? I saw online where a woman took Dollar Tree pot holders and sewed it in the center and flipped it up, and the little hook she sewed on a little button, and then you could hang them over your oven door. So I went to Dollar Tree and I bought a whole bunch of pot holders, and I think there's about 10 towels with the pot holders added to it, so then they could be hung on the anywhere, actually, on a oven door, on a, I don't know, wherever you have a hanger thing that you could just, you know, hook it around. And I'm sure you've all seen them. But if you don't do embroidery and you sew, it's a great project too, because you can get those matching towels and matching pot holders. And I'm telling you, for Christmas gifts, they would be amazing. I would love it if I received that. Where are we at here? We're near the end as far as this part. So yeah, so that was good. That all worked out and everybody's happy. So it's kind of like check mark, check that off my things to do. And the other night, I'm not sharing it yet. I'll share it, you know, later, because it's a gift for my new granddaughter that's coming in December for her shower. So I did a cow quilt for her, different than what you've seen so far. So and I'm working on some bibs for her and that, but I'm kind of like, well, that's going to have to wait because the craft show's coming up soon. And I'm not going to fret. I know I still have some elf sweaters left from last year or the year before. I don't know. Maybe it was longer because the whole pandemic thing kind of closed down all the craft shows. But I have some that were left from a previous craft show. And with all of the bowl cozies, all the things you've been seeing me making along the way, all of those items will be for sale at the upcoming craft show. Okay, well, I could finally remove the stabilizer, and I'm not going to worry about removing all of it because I'll go back with a paintbrush. Now, this other piece that's here, I'm going to save that because I can use that on the next one. I'm just going to take off some of this big pieces there. It's kind of like a sunburn, you know, you want to keep peeling at it, you know? You like when you have a sunburn, and that's kind of gross. But the skin is kind of hanging. That's what this reminds me of. Okay, so I won't pick no more of that. All right, so let's see. I want to put another piece over the top. So you're kind of, let me stand up so I can see. You're kind of making a sandwich over the top. And I'm going to change my thread back. Okay. Change my thread back to the beige color. I could probably put my ceiling fan back on. But I did go to Joann's, and any of you that are looking to buy any fleece and that, they have it all on sale. So I was kind of happy. Now I bought a whole bunch of different colors, and Oh, maybe this is what happened. See how the thread thing on the top? I'm going to take that right off. Maybe the thread got caught on that, because this is the color that was stitching when that happened. So only about a half yard of fabric, because you know they make this fleece is like 60 inches wide. So I thought, you know what, when it's gone, and then if I need more, I'll buy more. So how many of you have been following me on my last video? It's like Labor Day weekend, I'm gonna organize my fabric. Am I organizing my fabric? Push the button. Nope. But I did manage to get the boxes out of the closet, and I found my fleece, which is what turned me into making some of these sweaters. So I got the cardboard, the comic book cardboard pieces that I was telling you. Oh, I'm sorry, it's hitting the camera. The cardboard to wrap the fabric, and I got the fabric out of the closet. Now this is where it caused havoc before when it went to do the next step. Something got stuck. But it still looks like it's out of focus. So if it's out of focus, I apologize. I don't know why. Does it have something to do with the color of the fleece maybe? Or is it just my eyes are playing tricks on me? I cannot tell. But anyhow, so yeah, it's started. The fabric organization has started. So what I feel that I'm going to do is the larger pieces that I can wrap around the comic book cardboard, I'll be able to put into that in my other room where that chest of drawers is. But here's the other thing is I got to clean out the chest of drawers. See, when you want to clean up and organize, it's not just cleaning up and organizing. It's so many other things that have to be done in preparation for that. So that's where I kind of, yeah, I lose my thing of wanting to do it then, because it's just like, oh my gosh, now I got to do this and then I got to do that. So I got them out of the closet and I realized how much fabric I have. So that's step one. And it is kind of organized into those collapsible, foldable kind of bins that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And I did organize a while ago. I put like Christmas in one and Halloween in one, which the Halloween is out. It's here next to me because I've been doing those mystery blocks, which I'm behind on that. I have a mystery block to do too. But priorities is craft show. Okay, we're done. There we go, finished sewing. Okay. All right, so now what am I going to do? And I'm going to readjust you. So if you see any mess in this room, please disregard the mess. Okay, so here it is, all stitched out. What's the back look like? Here's the back. Now all these loose threads, what I do is I just get my scissors up here. See, there's like some thread, and I just kind of go along any loose threads that I can get at now. I'm just going to do snipping, because once I turn it right side out, you're not going to be able to get at any of these. So just snipping any loose threads that I see. There's a few spots on here where there's like a kind of like a little jump stitch kind of thing. So I'm going to trim the bobbin for that. And okay, pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the hoop. Okay, so what I decided to do is I use pinking shears to do the bottom edges, because they're just fleece. Now, you don't have to do that. I'm going to do it on this side because because I can. But I just thought it makes like a nice finish to the edge. So I'm just going to cut along, and I don't know if you can see this or not. But some things is just, you can't put in front of the camera and do off to the side because you can't really see. Okay. So let me just trim that. So see, I did a little bit of pinking shear on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up here with the arms. I'm going to cut a little V to go alongside the stitching, but not, you know, not cutting the stitch. If it falls on the floor, I'll get it later. And this one. Okay. And then you're just going to trim around the outside of the sweater. And I just go straight across here. Don't worry about the neck. And then as soon as this part is done. Okay. Alright, so there's your sweater. There's the other side. Now here's where the neck is. So I'm only, in the past I cut both the front and the back, but I'm only going to cut around the front. And I'm going to go right above where that stitching is. Not cutting the stitching. And do your best. You can always fix it a little bit once you turn it. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, so now this stabilizer, you want to remove that. Because you don't want that. You hear it? It's like crinkly. You don't want that on your sweater. So I just kind of go and I just poke a hole to get it started. And it's tear away. And oh my gosh, I'm telling you, my hands, it's a sunny day, although they are calling for storms today, but my hands are telling me that the storms are coming. How many of you have arthritis and your hands can tell you when the weather is going to be bad? My hands have just been bad lately. I was trying to push the button to start the video, and for some reason my touch on the camera, it wasn't you know, responding to it. So I had to go and use another hand, the other hand. Okay, so I'm just going to tear this away as much as you can. If there's a little tiny bit like in the center of those letters, I'm not going to stress over that. But you see, if you make these to sell them, you know, it's not an easy process. It's involved. There's a lot of behind the scenes work, so to speak, that has to be done before you have your finished project. Because you kind of want the inside to look nice. Although I don't know how many people would, you know, turn it right side out. I don't know, but anyhow, maybe when the kids were, or somebody's, you know, dressing or undressing the doll, maybe. But I know that, you know, I know that I did it. So here's a little string here. I'm just going to snip that. And along the outside of this, that should come off fairly easy. And also too, be careful when you're tearing this, because you don't want to ruin any of the stitches. I mean, you worked hard to get this far, so you want to make sure that, you know, you don't tear anything, because then you're going to be having to do some hand stitching or whatever. All right, let me trim a couple more little things here, a few more strings. And then if any of them show once you turn it, you can trim them then too. But a little bit left here on the edge. Oh, see my dropsies? I've been dropping things lately. And I know many of you are going to say, carpal tunnel. I've already had them done. But it's got to be about 25 years ago I've had them done. Okay, so now we're going to turn it right side out. And my little purple thing, it broke. I was doing something with it I shouldn't have been doing, so that works wonders with turning these. And I know somebody sent me a thing for turning, but these things are so small that it would probably take me longer to get it out than to just turn it. And what I do is, while another one, I would set it all, I would take it out of the hoop, get it set up for the next one, and while it's doing all the stitching and everything, I would be doing all this fussy work. So by the time, you know, I was done with all this, the cutting, the trimming, the picking out of the stabilizer and whatnot, the next one would be done. So So that's about it. But I'm using this screwdriver that came with the machine. I mean, you don't want to use anything too sharp. And here we go. Get that going. Once it goes, you get it going, then it goes. Okay. There we go. With that, and here, and a little bit of snips here down the bottom. A little bit of trimming. And then here's the leftover stabilizer, which the best way to do is just to use a paintbrush with some water and just go over it, and it just dissolves and gets out of there, out of your way. So there you go. I have some more snips on the bottom here. You could just fussy with all these little pieces, and there's your finished little sweater. So I don't know, that took us 11 minutes to stitch, and how much time in between. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Somebody asked me, are you selling them? Well, yes I am. How much? Well, I haven't decided that yet. So here's a little jump stitch right between the M and the J. Go ahead and get that. I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you think would be a fair price for these? Now, of course, all the different areas in the world are different. I don't live in a ritzy area. I live, you know, in pretty middle class area, and I know they're cute, and you know, I want to get paid for my time too. So there. Alrighty. So that's that. So let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Do you like these? Are they cute? Here's a whole bunch of them. Between that, I think the Grinch is probably my favorite. I love the Grinch. But these are here, and I have a whole bunch of them. Like I said, there's all different ones that came. I have all different color fleece to use. So let me know in the comments what you think, and what would you sell them for? You know, knowing, because those of you that are watching are pretty much crafters and home embroiderers, and let me know what you would sell them for. I don't know, $5, $6, $8. I don't think I'd go any more than 8. And I think 8 is kind of high for my area, but I'd love to know. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I may be back with another video, may not. We'll see. But please be safe out there. Enjoy your holiday. And thank you for joining. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and most of all, sharing. And come on over to Facebook group, Stitching with Sue. We have a lot of new members over there. People are sharing what they're making, and it's just a nice, fun community, and you're all welcome to come join us. So till next time, happy stitching. Bye for now.